So to those people that came by mistake, looking at your watch, 4 songs, an hour and a half, we're going to do something for you now. Now, this is where the progressive rock fundamentalists usually will boom. We're going to do a song now that's less than 4 minutes long. If I hadn't said that, if I hadn't said this is what, would you have still booed? Yeah. Okay. I grew up loving pop music. It's not my natural habitat, I grew up there, but I love a classic, concise piece of pop music. And occasionally over the years, I've turned out something I was quite proud of in that respect. And we're going to do one of them for you now. This is from the Harmony Codex record. This is called What Life Brings. 3 minutes, 44 seconds.
Steven Wilson has been a bucket list for me. Ever since I, quote, discovered him in Porcupine Tree a few years ago, I have just fallen in love with their music and with Steven Wilson and what he does and his videos about vinyl and all of his production stuff. The guy is so prolific. Steven Wilson is so very talented. The thought of getting to see him live was truly, that's why I've kind of called it a bucket list thing. So Joel got us tickets. I'm going to be sharing some of my videos with you of this. This is for the Overview Tour. And Steven Wilson came to Dallas at the Majestic Theater, and he played the entire album of the Overview. His new album is called The Overview, and this is very avant-garde stuff. I've compared it to like Bowie or Pink Floyd, but with a cool sci-fi / space theme to it, which is right up my alley. I love science fiction. I love any story that takes place in space. The Overview album is truly special. If you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. Buy it, stream it, check out The Overview. And after a couple listens, I think that you're going to really like it like I do. Thank you for joining me. I am Eric. This is the Loudboy Experience. And I say, let's go. This is one of those old school theaters. We were, I believe, in the second balcony, way up high. And this is what's so kind of perfect about the situation is we had an overview of Steven Wilson, the Overview Tour, and we literally had the overview. We were looking down upon Steven. Once again, I shot this with my S25 Samsung Galaxy, and this allows me to actually shoot with 2 cameras simultaneously and recording the multiple files, which allows me to intercut those. I'm able to do a multicam edit between 2 different cameras which are physically 2 different cameras on the phone. Point is, I've got some really great footage. I'm going to share it with you guys. I got up to go like blow my nose or something or to use the restroom right around intermission, okay? So he plays the entire Overview album. There's a break, and then he played a bunch more music after that. So I come back from the bathroom. This young lady stops me. She's with another gentleman. They're obviously a couple, probably married. And she stops me, and she goes, hey, can I ask you a question? Who are you watching tonight? She just watched the entire Overview album, over 40 minutes of music, and she didn't know. She goes, was that Dream Theater? Because there were 5 guys up there. Steven had him, bass, guitar, keyboards, and drums. So there are 5 total people. And, of course, 5 people in Dream Theater. And I said, no, this is Steven Wilson.
Welcome to the show. Now, at this stage, I always like to ask you, the audience, is there anyone here that's come by mistake? Let me explain what I mean by that. I'm talking about wives, girlfriends, grandfathers, children, grandchildren, best friends, people who have come with somebody else.
This is Steven Wilson. I went into like education mode, right? I'm like, no, it's just Steven Wilson. This is who he is. This is the kind of music he does. This isn't his quite normal thing, but he doesn't really have a normal type of music. And I kind of explained what this album is about. She's like, oh, don't get me wrong. I loved every second of it. And she claims to be a Rush fan. All right, so great. All right, so we're finding some common ground here. And meanwhile, in the course of our conversation, she keeps mentioning these really weird band names. Like, really weird. I know quite a bit about music. Even though I don't follow everything, I have kind of my finger on the pulse of a lot of things. And I didn't recognize one name that she threw out to me. She stumped me after stumped me after stumped me. I'm getting going, are these even real bands? Like, what are you talking about? But she was kind of cute. She was really nice. Here's the funny thing. She kept talking. She obviously, and then she made excuses for her ADD and her red hair. And I said, well, my wife has red hair. And she did kind of remind me of my wife, right? Where sometimes I really can't keep up with a conversation. And my wife is out talking me 9-0. And I'm trying to keep up as she switches to 20 different subjects. And I'm going, okay, which subject are we talking about now? Okay. Oh, we're still talking. No, well, hold on. No, you're 3 subjects ahead of me. I still haven't addressed this one. It was one of those conversations, but it was interesting. And I got to teach her some about the situation. But my goodness sakes, how can you watch 40 to 50 minutes worth of Steven Wilson, right? And go, hey, was that Dream Theater? Man, I could never have predicted such a moment in my life. So Steven Wilson, he goes on to play a bunch of other selections from a bunch of other albums, including one of my favorites, which is Pariah from To the Bone. He played that. He played Home Invasion. Played so many great tracks after he did the entire album. The concert's over. We enjoyed every second of it. It's now time to walk from that second level balcony down multiple flights of stairs. As we're approaching the lobby's just full of people, of course, right? They're just gathered, hanging out, talking about the concert. Those final steps, though, are not your traditional, like, evenly spaced as you go down, right? So many inches out, so many down. They started to space them out further or shorter. It was, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm about 2 to 3 to 4 steps up from the lobby floor, okay? So I'm from the ground. I'm like this far from the ground below me, from the lobby floor, which is like cement with carpet on it. And I'm walking down, and I guess I'm looking at my phone for some reason. I'm holding my monopod tripod in my other hand. That's what I used to shoot the concert. I may have glanced at my phone. I missed a step. If you've ever missed a step going down steps, you kind of hope that your foot's gonna hit the next step down, right? You might miss one step, and like, you know what, I'm gonna catch the next one, I'm gonna stabilize. No, I missed a step, and I missed everything. The next thing I knew, I was signed, face planted on the floor of the lobby. I went from 2 to 3 feet in the air minimum, 5 feet out into the distance, into the lobby, right in front of a group of people, and I slammed down on my knee and my elbow. I have a mark here on my elbow where it hit right here, and I have a massive just skin scraped off on my knee and a big scrape, a rug burn. I just sailed through the air. And the next thing I know, I look up and I see this mortified look on my friend Joel's face. As if like, what is going on? Like, are you okay? Like, is Eric going to die? He knows the crap I've been through in my life. Heart surgery, neck surgery. He all this is in his mind as he's watching me sail through the air without any hope. Like, gravity took me. And there was no stopping it. There was no other step. It was just me and empty space. And I'm flying through the air. And next thing I know, I'm just planted on the floor. And I'm just like, and I get up quicker than I should have because of the embarrassment. I had people going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I hear this from multiple people, like extras on a movie set. "Are you okay?" That's all I hear. And I look up at Joel, and he's got his face, and it's like, what the? He cannot believe his eyes. And I get up, and I'm going, "I'm okay." I'm just embarrassed. I'm like, I had no words. When I was in college, I was a video production major back then. I had a handful of VHS tapes, right? I'm going and riding my skateboard across campus from my dorm room to the editing bays at the, where our editing bays were in the film production department. I'm riding my skateboard across campus, right? I'm really excited. I'm going to go edit. You know, that's my favorite thing in the world to do. And back then we're using VHS tapes to edit, okay? And I'm riding my skateboard. This is back in the early to mid 90s. And then my skateboard just stops all of a sudden, right? And that's where inertia takes over, okay? A lot of physics, where if your skateboard stops and you're going this amount of speed, and the thing that you're on stops, like a car hitting a wall, you keep going. And I kept going. And that day, I scraped up many layers of skin on the same elbow. But guess what was in my hand that day? A stack of VHS tapes. Saved, not scattered, not broken. I instinctively held on to them and broke half my body just so I could save my tape so I could edit. And the same thing happened that night. As I sailed through the air and to hit the floor of the lobby, in my hand was my phone, okay? The equivalent of VHS tape, all my footage from that concert, and my monopod tripod dealie in this hand, and I slammed down, right? But these were still in my hands, still okay, unbroken, but I remain broken, which is one reason why this video, my video about the Rush tickets, check it out on my channel, and my video about the Rush tour and the new drummer, and we're talking about more about the artistic side of this tour choice. All these videos have taken a few, close to 24 hours longer than I wanted to, because Sunday, okay, like after I got back, the amount of how crappy I feel, I cannot express to you. In fact, I spent all Monday, right, the day after I got back from my long trip back, just feeling tired and lethargic, almost like I had the flu, but like, imagine getting hit by a bus and having the flu at the same time. That's how I felt. And all day I felt that way, and the night before, meaning that fall took a lot out of me, as it would anyone, right? And even like with a guy with multiple neck surgeries, a bad spine, and a heart that's been rebuilt. That's me, by the way, Frank and Eric. It took its toll, right? A fall of this caliber took its toll. Imagine that. It would anyone, of course, but I don't relish telling you the story. And if some of you recall what happened to me last past February when I went to see Dream Theater, I want to say that video's still up. I'm not sure if it is. But another similar accident. So, okay, I'll tell you. Fine. I'll tell you. This past February, we see Dream Theater 40th anniversary tour. We saw that in Houston or something. And on the way back, we stopped at Buc-ee's, this amazing like gas station / tourist trap. And I walked into a glass wall and almost knocked my freaking head off. That's what happened in February. This time, I sailed through the air and face plant on cement. So basically, here's the thing. Maybe it's good that I'm not going to the Rush concert, because honestly, I think it just might kill me. The next concert will truly take me out, and now my channel will be nothing but a memoriam to Eric, who once existed on this planet. It's quite frightening, but I kid. I hope. But here's what's great. Within the past few hours, I did start to kind of feel better, and a lot of the pain had subsided, and I'm like, okay, I feel good enough to go talk with you, and I'm really blessed to be able to do that now. He opened the note with this multiple high note thing that he does at the very beginning of the overview, and he just nails it right out of the gate. His drummer was spectacular. There was this whole point where he's doing these 16th notes, right? And different syncopated snare hits off the 16th notes, as Steven and the bass player were messing with him and kind of joking around and trying to get him to mess up, and he kept it up. It was just like, anyway, this drummer was phenomenal. The guitar player was amazing. Of course, the keyboard was great. The bass player was fantastic. But, man, his band was second to none. So, guys, there you go. There's my big embarrassing night. You are welcome. if I've done my job at the end of the day, it's that hopefully I can kind of make fun of myself, even though I'm a big doofus who clearly cannot walk upstairs or walk in a straight line past a glass wall. You know, I am the biggest moron on this planet. You are welcome. Guys, I'm Eric. Thank you for joining the Loudboy Experience. I'll talk to you next time.